Hey sweetie, good to see you. Oh, you might be wondering who it is and what happened to his niece. Well, his name is Bran and unfortunately he fell down while playing his favorite game, Catch Me If You Can. Now all his friends are playing the game and he couldn't join them. Hey, why don't we recreate his favorite game, Catch Me If You Can? Did you know Bran is an amazing game creator? He always used to surprise us. But this time, let's surprise him. Well dear, let's recreate this amazing game. But who will be the players? Let's add 3 cool players. The penguin, the squirrel and the cat. Oh, this is going to be so exciting. But which platform shall we use for this? Let's use the PlayLab platform with our 3 cool characters and create this amazing game. Let's not wait and go surprise Bran. A PlayLab interface. As you can see, we have many colorful blocks in the block palette. Then we have the output window on the right side and the workspace to do all the coding. Oh, we can see the background is already occupied by the when run block. So let's start. The very first thing we get attracted to in a game is its background. So we can add an attractive background to our game. Drag the set background to block and place it under the when run block. We can change the background by clicking the drop down arrow. We can select this open ground background as our players may need a lot of space to run and escape from the catcher. To view the background we chose in the output window, we have to click the run option. Ta-da! We got the background. Then click on the reset option. That's it. Outdoor play develops more advanced motor skills including coordination, balance and agility than indoor games. Children who play outdoors are more likely to engage in activities that challenge their muscles, bones and physical endurance. So, the background is set for the game. What's next, dear? Very good. We can introduce our best players to the game. We can take up the cat first. Get the show block and drop it below the set background to block in the workspace. The sprite is set as the cat in the block. Again drag the show block and drop it in the workspace. Click on the drop down and let's select our second player, that is the squirrel. Once more get the show block and place it under the show squirrel block. And select our last player, the penguin, by clicking the drop down arrow. Bingo! We got all the 3 players. By the way, sweetie, do you know that all the characters in our game have names? Do you want to know them? Let me introduce them to you. The cat is the Rexa. Our penguin is Jimmy and the little squirrel is Lily. Oh, they have very sweet names, isn't it? Oh, I was thinking of the cat, the squirrel and the penguin talking to each other. Oh, that's such a jovial scene. So let's make them interact in our game and make it more amazing. The cat wants to say something. Before we start to code the conversation, we have to wait a second otherwise. The text will pop up as soon as the sprites are shown in the background. Therefore, bring the wait block and fix it below the show penguin block. Now we can place the say block by dragging it from the blocks in the block palette. Click on the text box and type in, "Hey guys, it's playtime." Oh, so that means they have decided to play. The cat did not complete. He wanted to talk more. Before letting him talk, we have to wait for 1 second. So drag the wait block and drop it in the workspace. Next, get the say block and click on the text box. And type in, "Let's have some fun." We know either the squirrel or the penguin will be waiting to respond to the cat's text. It seems the penguin wants to say something. After waiting for a second, we can see what the penguin wishes to say. Drag the wait block and fix it below the say block. We kept the wait block here because after the cat speaks, We will wait for a second and then the penguin is allowed to speak. Then take the say block and place it in the workspace. Click on the drop-down arrow and choose penguin sprite from the list. After that, click on the text box and type in 𝗟𝗶𝗲𝗃, we can play the game. Okay, so they agreed to have some fun. Well, guess who's 𝗟𝗶𝗲? You said it right. That's our cat. We can place a wait block below the say block. So drag and drop the wait block. Again, drag a say block as a penguin wants to say something. Place it below the wait block and click on the drop-down arrow to choose the penguin sprite. To add the text, click on the text box and type in "Catch me if you can." Wow! Did you see that? They have planned to play our favorite game. Oh, this has raised my excitement level. Are you aware of the fact that outdoor games are a sort of therapy for children? Yes, it is used as a therapy for people with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD. When kids go outside to play, they take it extremely seriously. They put in their best efforts in order to win, and as a result, they focus intensely. As a result, the mental part of playing outdoor games is crucial. There is also an increase in concentration as well as the ability to reason and reach a logical conclusion. Well, let's see what our squirrel has to say. I hope he also agrees to join the other two. First, we have to wait for a second. For that, pick the wait block and place it under the say block. After the penguin says, we have set it to wait for a second. And then the squirrel is allowed to speak. Then quickly get the say block and fix it in the workspace. Then it's the squirrel who is ready to say something. Thus, click on the drop-down arrow and change the cat and select the squirrel. We can click the text box and type there. Well then, let's run Jimmy. You would have already guessed that Jimmy is a penguin. That's right. Next, we can place the wait block by getting it from the block palette in the workspace. We need the say block. So drag the say block and fix it below the wait block. Click on the drop-down arrow and choose the squirrel. He wants to say something. Click on the text box to add the text. Type in the space. 𝗟𝗶𝗲 will take the first turn to catch us. Finally, drag the wait block and place it under the say block. This means they are fully prepared to start the game. 𝗟𝗶𝗲 will be catching the squirrel and the penguin. Just like us, the three of them are also thrilled to start the game. You know, in the Play Lab, there is an easy peasy trick to set moods for the sprite. We can give the sprite happy, sad, angry emotions with the help of a block. Why don't we just try out by giving the three players a happy mood? What we have to do first is drag the set mood block and drop it below the wait block. We can set a happy mood for the cat. Click on the drop-down arrow and select the happy mood. Again, drag the set mood block and fix it in the workspace. We will be choosing the squirrel next. So click on the drop-down arrow and choose the squirrel sprite from the list. To set the mood, click on the drop-down arrow and select the happy mood. That's done. Hey dear, did you get a hang of it? The last step is to again set the mood block and fix it below the set mood block. Well, who's remaining? Exactly, the penguin. Click on the drop-down arrow and choose the penguin. We need to give him a happy face. Therefore, select the happy mood by clicking on the drop-down arrow. Oh, we did some pretty good work. Well, we added the characters and also made some interactions between them. But still, we didn't see it in the output window, right? So let's do it. Let's see that. Click on the Run option below the output window. Here we have the background, the cat, squirrel and the penguin. They started their chit-chat and ended up deciding to play Catch Me If You Can. Bravo! We enjoyed coding their conversations. Thanks to the same block for letting us type rather than choose it from the available text. We definitely did a good job.